Adehye mama mamu nyina akwa aba emamu aha eba UTV so ene awie no me nsabo pa mu se dia na Dawuro bre aso Adwoa Obiyaa Obeng na me bebo Dawuro mu amamu ene awie ne yebo awura nsem mu dia na ne yedika ne yakwa kopie mu ewo Ashaiman na fix the country wo mo convener ba ko anasa kasamafo ba ko a wo kan wo ho asesia no ne ho akoka ne ho wanya asem a tese wo damu no eye owura Oliver Baka Voma wo na ene okokopie mu ewo Ashaiman District Court ye kokko wiase no nsema hodo bi ekotwagu ye ewo hontie no court epam no na proceedings na wo mo eye wo ho no wo mo eto aso na wodi ho ebiem na opani ene ne toso mienu okokopie mu ewo court ho na kyesa wo hwa ne toso mienu nie na nanu ho bi ene de ne call ye na court eye ne 28 February no won san emra no meto ato mo to na no na nsema hodo o kan ya ni nyina na ekame etese opese otu abangu ewo man Ghana mu no wo mo atimi ape ano pomasibre ewo man Ghana mu na eno no mkokokoduru ho no na no to ato amu no na ko na no akoko yi nika ewo court ho a eno no eye justice ya otena so ye otemuafo ana eye Eliano Kakra Bans botwe ebufuo pa wonam so edepam no efiri ho na kyesensem ahodo no na etwago no mo kyese na opani no wo mo ekasa ewo court ho a na kyese wo kasa fa ne fa ahodie bi a wo sese nka kyese ka court no enhwe na nka wo mfa ma no na eno na nkasa hodie no ekoso ewo ho no ano okoka se court no eye kangaroo court na nyade a ono ba be ho court no ewo ba bi wote no eno enam so ema etemuafo wote ho no ne bufu papa ma enam so emo kyere sese wo mo ya kangaroo court na so wontimi ho court no dia ene on sesa ne kuku ne nkaka enfree court ho no nko na ne lawyer enka na asem bi esese omutimi eka fa na asem no ho no wo mo atumi aka wo mo enam so ede kokobo ema no sensem ahodo no a otwago no kasa sa na ogu court ho fin efise ba bia wugina na ahwe kwa na atimi ache contempt no ne ade enti okeka nsem ahodo etete sa se court no kangaroo court a na ogu court no animtie enti wo mo enam so anam apam no afri court ho ama sesi amene mo kasa no ne lawyer ene hwe ye tena kira wo mo eguso a etoto niema ewo ye Ashaiman District Court ho a wo mo assign de no akwakopie mu ewo eye afiase na ye to aso dia na ye kọ akwakopie mu ewo eye dwaboso eye mrahebedwani kwabena minta akando honorable ye kọ ne nchen na odi atodwa se Ghana fo sase yetimi ebo mpaye emu odene na ye san de efunu to ne ye kyerekom se de be ya eye dom dodo omwo mrahebedwam no ya omatie sisu so tentenchina wo mo be pass 11 ewo man Ghana mu no we betimi akyerekom asu akyere otwede ampunyankopon se de be ya sajina di asie no ompese wo musie no entumi emaso ewo oman Ghana mu na wo kire mu se de Ghana wo mo emra hyebedwam emra esitie no edu ba bi a nema hodo bi etete saa no esese wo mo etoso aba na wo mo ehwe esigina ye ewo ho enu ntini 137 MPs a wo mo emra hyebedwam mo ye MPP fo no se nyankopon ye o madom na eye independent MP no free for me na no esan eto aba ni bi ema mo wa bra o mo to 11 ni so aba no a ebetumi aboa wo mo amomatimi age 11 no atomu enu ntino ade ba ko ebetimi aboa wo mo pa se Ghana for ye betimi aye akonchene aye na chese sa nipa 137 no wo mu entimi ma mepie mu e wo mrahebedwam wo se de be ye to aba no a eye NDC for mrahebedwafo wo mo ho no mo so ye 137 no wo mo de o ma ye o madwene se enya de o mu ba konkora beto aba no ama 11 no enu nti ne betimi aboa pa ama mene mo kasa yi no anase ensem niema kwan ahodo edi animu anase mre kakra edi animu ye ntumi ngi 11 no entum se de be ye betumi aboa na 11 de mo amunim se yaka ho asem ewo man Ghana mu a nipa dodo no an ekuaku ahodo na aye o madwen se wo mo empene so ewo man Ghana mu efise eba bema Ghana fo ho akere wo mo mukomu eba bebu wo mo a Ghana fo ebebre no akasa tia ni nyina mu no MPP aban no wo mo enenam ya wo mo eye town hall meetings no ne ade a mo kyerɛkyerɛ mu akere Ghana fo se 11 no ya ade ba ko a eba beboa ma mpuntuo akoso ewo man Ghana mu na eno enenam so ma sesi amene mo kasa no wo ma postpone a yentimi ento aba no ebesi sa brain na eno ena ye opani ekyemu se so mutimi eye ne saa na so mukọ omanimu aye ye saa na bekwa akọ wiase nje se eba bepie mu ewo mrahebedwam etoso aba na eba betoso aba de ebi te se ye mrahebedwam ni a oye dome kwabenya wo ma mepie mu ewo mrahebedwam no ono aso akora de na so atoto fom ahu se MPP eye MP ba akoso sesia no ne ho emfa no ti amom numbers ne so ate eno na aye ko minini taxes bia wo mo entimi ma mepie mu wo mrahebedwam ye ntimi envotuo eno ntiri Ghana fo mo mpa ibo mu enye den se mpaebɔ no mu yɛ den ne yɛ akonkyene ɛka ho dia ebetumi aboa pa se nipa na ntimi ama betwa amoa no ɛwɔ mmarahyɛ bedwam ha me yɛ ntimi anto aba ne dia ɛne ebetumi aboa pa ma 11 no yɛ nyi ntum ɛwɔ man Ghana mu sɛ de bɛ yɛ Ghana fo nyinaa ɛkɔn mu betumi ahenhan wɔ mu na yanko University of Ghana wo mo eku a ewo ho University Teachers Association of Ghana ne fa ewo University of Ghana na wo mo de o nsem aba monten na wo mo kire se University Business Executive Committee for na fa National Association for ye o mo nyina nkuoku a wo mo hwe eboa madisua ekoso ewo man Ghana mu no dodo no a na wo ka kire wo mo se nka Nyankopon ye adoma nka ne da yi ye 28 February no nka wo mo strike a wo mo akwa na tuatie no amotie no wo mo enfo mo nema engu fo no nko mo ko classroom enkonko kire ade ne no wo mo kire se wo mo gitum a enye yie emfa ho se University of Ghana's Business and Executive Committee for no aka bomu a wo mo ehye wo mo kire se wo mo hu secular bia na ene na monten ya na wo mo hye asukufo no se Nyankopon ya adoma na juoda yi adisua ebe hye ase ye academic work no ebe hye ase nanso enhyehye pa se agban eni mpanyifo a wo mo ka bia ye yie no ene wo mo kɔ no besi saa bre no wo mo entumi ene wo mo enkoye enu nti wo mo kɔ a emmoa efise wo mbakwa ko hye ade kire no ase a nkitahundie no antumi ankwa nkɔ wie pɛ ye wo mbɛsan ba hye ase bio no na eya ye te sɛ de ade wo mo ye no ankwa nkɔ wie pɛ ye enu nti no wo mo na wo mo secretary ye UG branch no wo mo secretary ye Professor Ransford Jampo e de aba monten sɛ enya ade a wo mo agitum so mbɛkyerɛ ade ene kɔ a ebe ye yie nti no wo mo egusua e wo strike ni mu dendenden emfa ho ne national executive fo no eka efise wo mo pɛ sɛ aban esisu ginaye na wo mo conditions of service no ne ma hodo bi etete sa ne o makatua ho nsɛm no aban etimi sisu ginaye sɛ ne ye ya amamunie sɛ aban tumi eye sa ama wo mo de a ene wo mbɛkɔ classroom akwa kyerɛ ade ente sa ade University of Ghana teacher fo a wo mo ho lectures a wo ho de enya ade a wo mbɛhye ase akyerɛ ade ene anase ochena je sɛ aban ene wo mo asinkonwa yie asiginaye ɛwɔ wo mo nsɛm no ɛho na yebeko ahoma no so ne ye ne Michael Akrofi ye correspondent ase ana musini a otonkra efri apoye mantamu ye ne no ba betwetwe enkomo efise ye nyane nte se eye akwanhia bi asi ewo achim aboabo ye wo Eastern region ye DAF track bi ye ka bi a ye DAF ana fe Nissan pickup bi wo mu akwakobo asie nyana se wo ma pem ama nipa mienu afamu atinananom ewo nse do ama nipa dodo bi so aprapa na Michael wono to nkra free ho nti eduru se ya ebo na manea na waye ntentem wakakopie mu na wahu ne ekoso ewo ho nti ye ne Michael betwetwe nkomo na wa mayen picture kakra mayen foni kakra se de niema ekoso ewo ho no na watumi akyerɛkyerɛ mu akyerɛ Michael wote menka mu akwaba ebadaro so ede awie
ye ne Obiyaa
na boye nkyerɛmu kakra eden ne si ye poten nam so ma ka mienu wo mo apemama nipa mienu atidananom ewo nse adu
empepi eya na esen efei esi kwantempon so a ye mfa no asenhia ewo mem ha eno edidi so ma nam so ma nipa dodo na ato nananom ewo nse adu na wote chemu ye de 2M express ehun sem ebae saa kwan a 2M express nya kwanhia no saa pepepe na saa kwanhia na hemachin be nunum ne fa esi ye manipa mienu anam so ahwere mo nkwan both for chete nipa mienu so na be bi omoda no emu odin papa yi omo prepra ewo epie mantem ha da ya akwanhia no esi ye no eye atem aboabo ofi hope na wo kɔ asafo mpotem ho wo kuma se enka kwantempon yi so na ebibi abante bi a yefan Ali Abdul Rashid wanya fishia edanan baako no kra DAF track atokita track a efudini efi eye tifi mantem with the banner for her car ni tino ni number e 1060 RN and now says the tona in the no and also the normal is different and also no so sonko and e 1041 RN na jene na na egusu fi kumase side ho eba be sen akon crime na odu atoma boabo empotem ho ewo eya asafokwan no so no e no chese onyo hawo anase chimato ewo nation na esu jene na ehunti o shenkene no epake ehyen no edisi kwan no emfinfin pe e na chese oja ho no ekoye a wambo police famana na so wan police faso chese mikranema de konkan na o hawo aba mehyen hunye ntene se tori ke bi o baby amombo amema mpe bi na meche ka na anase ehyen no fancy baby debi o just ho no sabre no so hemache ensumu wo mu abrante bi a yefa no kwasi ampaw twum wanya fihia aduanan mienu ono nso ekwa Nizam hard body pickup a ne number eye JW 181320 a nipa enan na na etim omo nso no mu fikumase wa eba besen abankran na ekowie akire no just we hu say ehyen a eya to kweta track no wa sense gwenim eno ti droba na nipa no so na chese odi akobom nimpu enya sanke to ahwe so na eye Nizam hard body track pickup asaya fa obi bisa se ka ketwa mpo a akebe dem asai ma nipa wo mu no amunum ha nipa menu kana na o ma mbo mu dimpo no ma che bebi o ma japade ehye no mo bisa fa kwehwe etiri o ma to amunum ha rehosem afi nipa menu a omo mu nso no omo ka wa hye mu enti wa bra fire service for the police will be do ho no na nya ma nipa ne prapapa ye nya sanketo ntempa mo de omo kuku eye hawa memorial sabia ewa atmosim na me no ka say nipa menu so omoto amunum ho na no omo de omo akopie mu ewo eye baby omo kura emu ewo kibi abanya sabia ntempa posifo enseso eye drobani a yefen Ali Abdul Rashida na okura sa ehyen a eye atukreta daft tracker na so jenni edi free eye kumase potemode ba enkan ebe se fi kwan mu a when you police officer na so bia so tre mo jesi ho pen there bitnan no omo teso no mu me no e ka say posifo a won mo apiemantam ha asha se eya asam hwehwemu e bisa no kwan e fa se ye ne ne nam so a when you bia so tre na ntempo ma me gen so ma kwanhwa se aba etina me ne Obiyaa arehostema enahimachin esi e won kra kwantempo no so nipa mienu e na nam kwanhwa so ahwo mo nkwa ya e na me no ka say nipa mienu so na bebi omodano de mo aye din ammo ya sabia sabre menya ne ntese de omukra e kokofodia e St Joseph aban ya sabia no makotoa o maya rehwe so e wo ho no ma posifo nso akrekle kwan mu yi fa hyen a SSC ho no efi ho e na omo nso omunya akwanhia hyen no omo ye fi ho no de akọ posifo ase ya e wo ta empotem kwan no so wa e baabi ye de ne bedi akire so hyen kan ne baabi omo de ne befa bia no ye bedi akire ne betuma bia ye mfa nkame ya hwefo ene yetiefo amane bonesi
so ye better was wa man ba odi free apoye mantamu ebre droba ni ye nya na chi ni de na ne kwan so ano na ye nkopie mu e wo Ukraine ye nyina nim se Ukraine for ene Russia ntokoi e hyase no be te se ena miensanie ya chese enema hodo a ekoso e wo Ukraine enya asem keto akra fi se ye Russia for no wo mo akwakoto ahye oman Ukraine no so ama chese nipa e wo mu sisia no dodo no a na efri kuro ni mu a amaya hodo no a e ben Ukraine no dodo no a akwakopie mu e wo ho na enkra no ekoso a ekyerese nipa be te se 115,000 ena sisia no eye Poland nko ano wo mo akwakopie mu e wo ho ebirum wo ho kra na wo betu kwan kra be te se 2 days enam yenu anse no matumi akwakopie mu e wo aman foforo so na line na hodo a sisi o masa e wo border na se aman no wo mo border no so no enya asem keto kra kyerese kiw no wo mo ekyerese e wa pa kyerese bi be te se 10 miles kra enipa di so ebi wo tete ka mu wo mpese wo mo cross border no ekọ aman afoforo so se de be ya ebetumi aboa na wo magye wo mo ekra nkwa na nipa no bi be te se 18 to 60 years no wo mo ene edwane dodo no akọ aman ahodo no so na ye nyina nim se Ghana adehye bebre e wo ho ya wo mo epe kwan afiri mu akọ na yanya baako e wo line no so eye Dennis ono de Nyankopon aye nadom ama watumi akwakopie mu e wo Romania eno de nani tuya mu pefe na ya ntokwa no ehyase eno tie be kọ ne nkyɛn na watwa picture kakra ama yen kwan a wo fa so a wotumi kakra no a watimi akwakopie mu e wo Romania no wotimi enche ba bia na owo na onkyere yen se de nema ekoso e wo ho Dennis wotemi nka me mu akwaba eba UTV Dawuro so ena wie
pato Joseph so wa papa that's be be ho afanya we ya mo di halam
we de wutiri nkwa na yedi kan na ebema wutiri nkwa se Onyankopon awada wa de wakopie mu e wo Romania ensam a etwa gu e wo Ukraine ene Russia ntemu no yahu bi e wo social media we de wankasa wugira ho bi e na wudi wani kurotwa wisie yi ahu bie hyehyɛ yensen na nema ekọ e wo ho ankasa
okay me pato we de mo tani bi ta nyama ni do ha message ko bo bro mo nya session ye
okay
basically we organized the bus for my city where I was studying, and then for the first batch about 74 people were organized, to go to the nearest border. That was we were close to the Ukrainian border. And then when we got to the bus, when we got to the border, of course, we stopped along the way because there was massive traffic. It took us more than an hour to walk from where we stopped to get to the border. And then when we got to the border, actually, there were so many people. It took us 24 hours to cross the border. So we were there standing in the cold, actually. I personally, not to exaggerate, I stood there for 9 hours. And then I had to go to a cafe to rest and then come back to try again. Of course, that was the Ukrainian border. So there were two gates there. And then one gate was set apart for the Ukrainians, and the other gate was set apart for foreign nationals. So, of course, they allowed their people in a lot more. And then for about 3 hours, then they would allow four foreign nationals to enter. So it was very hectic until we finally managed to enter, and then we got settled in. So currently, I'm in Bucharest, the capital city. We've been stationed at a hotel. Then I got to the capital today, this morning. And then hopefully in the course of the week, we'll find ourselves in Ghana.
So what help has the Ghana Embassy in Ukraine offered to the students that are supposed to travel to the neighboring countries?
Okay, so so far, the neighboring countries involved are Poland, Hungary, Slovakia, and Romania. And to be very honest, you have to find your way out of Ukraine because then the airspaces are closed, you cannot use land, and then transportation has become very expensive. You can't even find transportation, let alone pay for the expenses involved. So the students themselves try to organize buses to move in groups. And then we're given lots of contracts, the people at the helm of affairs in these stations that we were supposed to go. So when we got there, we called them, then they got us settled in. We talked to them, they gave us contracts for buses to pick us up. So where I crossed, a bus came to pick us up in the evening for a 7-hour journey to Bucharest. And then we got to the hotel. Actually, government has taken care of the hotel. It's the hotel and breakfast. But of course, we have to pay for lunch for ourselves.
Okay.
And an agent from the government came to take our passports. Some already left today, and hopefully we'll get to Ghana tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay. So in your own view, how many of you, Dennis?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Okay,
hear
so
you.
in your own view, how many of you have been able to cross the border to the neighboring countries? How many of you, the students? How many of you?
Ghanaian students?
Yes, Ghanaian students, those that are schooling in Ukraine.
Okay, in my own estimate, I would say about 800 Ghanaians have been able to.
Okay, so I mean, we also heard that there's been some preferential treatment.
More than 400 probably
Okay.
in Ukraine.
Okay, please, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we heard that when you get to the border, they give the women and children preferential treatment. They allow them to cross the border before the men. How true is that?
Yes, that is very true.
Then I guess you struggled before you crossed the border.
When we were in the queue, when we got to the border, there were already lots of people.
Okay.
So we stood in the queue for about 5 hours, and then they told us now all the guys should move back, and that they would allow the ladies in. So of course there were two gates, the Ukrainian gate, and then that's for foreign nationals. But then, of course, the Ukrainian gate was open to all people, both men and women. And then, so all the guys of different nationalities moved back, and then the ladies were there. Even then, they were still not allowing them in. And then later, we were told that the Indian embassy in Romania had organized a bar for them to be picked up. So then they were priority. So all of us had to move back for the Indians to converge at the point of exit. So that also took so much time until we finally managed to talk with one of the border guards who prepared a special gift, but for all other nationalities, excluding Indians.
Okay. So what other arrangement has the consulate in Romania done for you to be evacuated back to Ghana? Has there been any other arrangement?
Yes, and when we get in, basically, all of us that are settled in Bucharest now in the hotel, the agent, someone from the consulate, would come in and pick the passport and then get them stamped, so that they buy the ticket for us. So the people who got in earlier before us left today, and then he came for more passports. We're waiting for him to bring them up. Then those that submitted their passports will be able to travel hopefully tomorrow or the next day up.
Okay, so I want to find out where you are now. Were you the one that arranged for it, or is the consulate that is in Romania that did that one for you?
Oh, as of now, where I am now.
Yes. Did you arrange that for yourself? And how many are you there?
As of now, the Ghanaian nationals here in Bucharest are in the hotel, and then I must say we are about 100.
100. So it was the embassy
for buses to pick us up to this place. So the consulate said that.
Okay, so it was the embassy, the Ghana embassy in Romania that arranged for that accommodation for you?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay, okay. Then I guess there will be further arrangement for you to be evacuated back to Ghana eventually.
Absolutely. We're still waiting for the other people who are in different parts of Romania to converge and Bucharest for them to also have the same arrangement.
Okay. Dennis, we thank you for your time. We thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay. Ora Dennis, and yet in Kano or Casa Free, a Romania. Na or student na urgentity Ukraine, Mamuna and Tokwayintino, and Nama who here were more and Namuntin, Cecilia, no Dodo no ano, a free Ukraine. Ya Dodo no Akoko, a Maya Hodua, a Bembe Ukraine, no Dodo no Ako, and Tessa, which they will say, Imubet or Hadie, ya or can warm horn, Cecilia and Yankopon Adum, Wamo Etimiaka Piemu, Ewo Romania, Wamo Air Share Adwoa, na Embassy or Wamo Ghana, and Namsifua, Wamo El Hormosha to Tonyama. Edi womu ababi piemu ewo my ganam dodo no aka no so no akokokoko amaya hodo no ewo wo nchenchen no ebi tse Belarus no ne hungry ne niam amaya hodo no ewo wo Ukraine ho no Poland tse wo makokokoko ho anyankopon aduma onyankopon ene aban etoto niam nyina awia ya de hia womu ho a womu agentete ewa desuamu no dodo no ensa anaso mbabi piemu ewo my ganam a ye bebo tse nyankopon adum yatumi abo mo ho ban ye betimi di o mabi piemu amomakoka mo busuafo ensa ha na brebe me kwan amamdi Dawuro kase no asi oba da ubofo Adwoa Obiyaa Obeng me na mbebo Dawuro mu ma mo ene awia ma mu nyina mo ene hwa wogeme ahenewa.